What is passive voice? What is it? Why do we use it? That's what we really need to know, right? We can identify forms and we can know how to form things, but the big question is why, right? Why in the world would we ever want to use passive?
Well, because general speaking and
Okay.
writing.
Okay.
Regular form and
Okay. All right. General speech and writing. Well, I mean, look, passive voice affects writing, and it depends what you're writing about in academia. Okay, passive voice, be careful. Okay, you want to avoid passive voice typically. Okay, now before we get into the writing part, let's go over the form. Okay, passive voice is simply the verb some time of the verb be plus a past participle. Okay, so that's how we form it. Okay, that's a bad line. Let's do that again. Now, so if we're speaking in past time, we'll use some past form of the verb be, right? Yesterday, the documents were, right? Were finished, okay? So we have two voices in English. We have active and we have passive, what we're talking about now. So active is very direct and passive is not as direct, okay? And that's why when we're writing, we like active over passive because it's usually clearer, okay? It's usually more concise, okay? And it's just to the point, okay? Passive, typically we're using more words and possibly we're leaving out important information. By whom, okay? So an example of an active form will be the following. I'm going to put A for active, okay? They are building the fountains. Now this is active, okay? Simple as that. Any questions? Huh? Yeah? No? Now, I have a question for you. What tense is this?
simple continuous.
Yeah, present, simple, continuous. Simple, continuous, okay? Are building, okay? Now, one of the reasons we use passive, one of the main reasons we use passive is to change the emphasis, okay? Passive has nothing to do with time or tense. As a matter of fact, if we're changing this, we have to be careful not to change the time or tense because it can mean something entirely different if we change time or tense, okay? So we emphasize the object, which is the fountains, okay? So we'll make the object the subject, right? The fountains. Sorry for my horrible handwriting. Okay, now this is important. We have to use some form of the verb be, but we have to keep it consistent with the active tense. Okay, so what is the present continuous form of the verb be? Be. Bravo, bravo. Are being built. Okay, the fountains are being built. Now, In passive voice, we can always, in the back context, put by whom, or by them, but we typically leave it out because this is why we use passive in the first place, because either number one, it's implicit, we know who they are, or we don't care, okay? They are not so important, okay? Or we know who they are, who are building these fountains, okay? So that's a simple example for passive voice. We're changing the emphasis to the fountains and the act, okay? The act of them right now being built, right? Pretty cool stuff, right? Okay, don't look so excited. All right, so let's take a look at some active forms and let's change them to passive. So I've got, let's see, right here, okay, we have active voice keep, okay, then we have passive voice is kept, okay. Now let's do, oh, hold on, I don't want to give you the answers, okay. So let's make it like that, okay. Now, all right, so you can do the first one, okay. That I keep, here, read it for me.
I keep the kaymak in the fridge.
Okay, this is very important, by the way, right? You must keep the kaymak in the refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's the passive form of that?
The kaymak is kept
Good.
in the fridge.
The kaymak is kept, okay? Bravo. All right, the next one, please.
John is keeping my house tidy. My house is being kept tidy.
Beautiful. Very, very, very nice. Very well said, okay? All right, next.
Mary kept her schedule meticulously.
Yes. Ooh, that's a good word, meticulously, okay? This is an adverb, and more specifically, it's an adverb of manner, okay? It tells us how the verb keep is done, okay? She kept, how did she keep? She kept it meticulously. Now, meticulous is the adjective, and it means very attention to detail, okay? Scrupulous, okay, is another synonym. Scrupulous, very careful, very attention to detail, okay? So, I'm sorry? Thorough, yeah, thorough. That's a hard one. I know that TH. Thorough. Thoroughly, okay? Being thorough with something, okay? Very specific, okay? So meticulously, okay? Everything was just perfect, right? All right. Good word. Very good word. Okay. All right. Next, the theater. Oh, all right. Okay. Well,
Schedule has kept.
okay. Her schedule.
Her schedule has kept meticulously by Mary.
Okay. Close, but no cigar.
Schedule meticulously.
Uh-oh. Okay, look, let's back up. Okay, all right. Okay, you guys are thinking too deeply into this, all right? First of all, this is how we do this thing, okay? Let's identify what tense is kept.
Past.
Past simple. So why are we using present perfect? You guys are overthinking, man. You think too hard. Okay? Ah, so let's hear that beautiful right answer.
Her schedule was kept meticulously.
That is a meticulous answer. No, that's a very good answer. Okay? All right. Kujimo.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do another one. Okay?
The theater was taking a tour. A seat was being kept for you.
Fantastic. Yeah, a seat was being kept for you. What tense is this? Yeah, past continuous. Yeah, you don't have to say the simple. Yeah, yeah, past. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, all right.
I have kept all your old
Now you can show your beautiful knowledge of this perfect. Okay,
your old letters.
okay.
Um, uh,
What tense is this? What tense? What tense is this first?
That's perfect.
What's past about this? Is have.
Okay.
Yeah, is have. Yes. It's present. Present perfect. Yeah. You don't see had there.
Yeah.
Nothing past is about this. Okay. All right. So, okay. So,
Maybe it's your old letters.
all your old letters.
All your old letters have been.
Very good. Have been kept. Yes. So, here is a thing, an identifier of passive imperfect form. You're always going to have two past participles in a row. Okay, that means consecutively. Okay, so you're always going to have been followed by another past participle. Okay, always past part. Now, I'll abbreviate. So before this, you may have in past form had, present form has, had or has, or future form will have. Okay, so these are pretty much the perfect forms of passive voice. Okay, the letters had been stored away. The letters have been stored away. The letters will have been stored away. Okay, so two past participles in a row. All right, Kujimo. All right. Okay. Oh, will. Oh no. Oh yeah. A lot of people don't understand this. So this is future perfect, and this is okay. Um, for example, okay, we uh, the papers will have been completed by lunchtime. Um, Now, we talked about this when we talked about future tense, okay? This is simply future perfect tense, okay? Now, I know I'm going to bore you with this, but let me ask you this question. Since we're dealing with perfect, this is the whole tense right here. It's a lot of words. Will have been completed, okay? Yes.
Is it like a promise?
Actually, this is a good way to think of it, because when we use will in its simple form, okay, the modal will, okay, we can use it more or less like promise, okay. This is very interesting because later I'll compare this same sentence with, for example, this sentence. Excuse me. I hope to have finished the letters. Now this is not passive. Letters by lunch. Okay, I'll just say by lunch. Okay. Now, these sentences kind of mean the same thing when we're talking about timeline. Will is more promising by nature. Okay, I will do this. Okay, it's very strong, right? It's very absolute. Okay, hope, on the other hand, is not. It's more in theory, you know, and it is more of your wish. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, in a timeline. Now, I'll draw it up here. Okay, in a timeline. Okay, here's present right here. Okay, now we've got green and let's put yellow. Okay, by lunchtime is yellow and by lunch is yellow. So here's the lunch sometime in the future. Okay, all right, now both of these do the same thing. We're talking about perfect. Okay, this number one with will have completed. Okay, this emphasizes before lunch. So sometime before this lunchtime, the papers will be completed. Perfect emphasizes before another event. Okay, you probably never heard me say that before, right? Don't be so serious, guys. I mean, this is only English grammar. You know, I mean, come on. Well, you'll see later. You'll see later. I know. I mean, what else would you expect? Okay. I mean, come on. So anyway, both of these do the same thing. They emphasize finished or completed before lunch. Now, one is stronger, more of a promise. One is more of a wish or a hope. Now, we use what we call this infinitive, and it's a perfect infinitive. We'll be talking about this later on. This is the perfect infinitive, okay, to have finished. And it's a, like I said, it's a form. I don't know why my green isn't working, but it's a form that we'll talk about later. Okay, but it does the same thing. Okay, hope is a verb we like to use infinitives after. Okay, so that's the perfect infinitive, to have finished. All right. So more clearly, and then I'll hush up about this. Okay, you have the timeline. Here's lunch. Okay, and we're emphasizing sometime before that we're going to finish the papers. Okay, I will finish the papers is very strong and absolute. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Even though if I recall the form of perfect is will have past participle.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused with
Oh.
being.
Oh. Yeah. Guess why? Because we're talking about passive voice. This is passive voice. The papers will have been finished by me. Okay? Yes. Remember? Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. You are right. But that's an active form. And usually when we teach these tenses, we always teach them in active form because they're simpler. You know, there's no reason to already make things more complicated than they really should be. Yeah. Okay. All right. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. Okay.